No, you're adding value to the pattern. So, youngest son Chase, he's 10 now. When he was 9, it's interesting that this is what I mean. You can see it without seeing it. It's fascinating. You can, man, that is really interesting. So you took your lack of technical sight, but actually saw something that I didn't by seeing the trident, the three prongs with the triangle. Okay, so people are like, what are you talking about? But okay, so um, Chase, the 10-year-old, when he was 9, he drew a series of 3 circles connected with a triangle. So 3 circles connected with a triangle, and he labeled or titled that photo "Geometry Unlocks Consciousness." Geometry unlocks consciousness. Okay, so he was 9 when he did this. Okay, again, this is the value of being a dad like this, the true value. Okay, so the top circle is the grandfather, great son. And Chase and I agree that the world's biggest problem is that there are too many grandfather, great sons. We'll just call them men with egos. Men with egos, and they're just melting everything with their own ego. They come up with most of the great ideas, but they also melt the ideas with their own ego. The second circle is what most of those grandfather great sons are missing. That's the Mother Earth, which Chase wrote is the source of light and reflection. I'm sorry, the source of life and reflection. Life and reflection. So that's the Mother Earth. And then the third circle is the moon, which is neutral and essentially can do anything. And then it's connected by a triangle, which is the strongest shape. Bridges are made with triangles, they're inherently rigid. And so all of the partnerships within our company or my life, there's a triangle partnership. And this is very important. I'll double down on this. At least one of the circles or partners either has to be an actual woman or has to have more feminine energy, because that balances out the ego of the grandfather great son spirit.
That's an incredible realization for a 9-year-old.
Yes. Right. Visionary child.
Yeah. But what stood out for me when you were writing about Poseidon is that I've been to Herculaneum. I lived in
Really?
Italy for
Are you
four
serious?
years at Naples.
You lived in Herculaneum? You really? Did you go to that? Did you go to that?
I want to say I remember the mural.
Wow! Holy cow, man! So this is my whole life. It's like things like that, man. That's awesome. Wow!
Well, I lived in Naples for 4 years
Wow!
and did the travel around Pompeii, Herculaneum, up to the top of Vesuvius,
Oh,
and saw the world from uh, that perspective. And
wow!
uh, of course, I'm big into the Greek and Roman theology. One of my companies is actually called Poseidon
Really?
Acquisitions.
Holy cow, dude! So I don't get like this usually. I only get like this if it's really worth getting. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I told you, I was reading this book and it was blowing me
Isn't
away.
it amazing? Isn't it amazing with this? Wow! Oh man, I might start crying. Wow.
Okay, so how did going back to the journey? What prompted? What was the journey? And uh, what did you find? What did you learn along the way?
Well, I think I learned that life is beautiful if you make no excuses and you just go for it. Um, are you able to cry anymore? Do you have tear ducts?
I hope my fake eyes aren't looking too glossy right now.
Um, okay, I want to focus, but I will get emotional. You can't see, but you can feel this. I learned what true love really is.
It's incredible what effect uh, our thoughts, our feelings can have on others if you just put it out there to the universe. That's why I tell my story and tell what I've learned, and I'm sure you've gotten similar in return after writing your books. and I'm sure you're getting feedback for creating this room, creating this group for otherwise somewhat outcast people to find their peers.
You know, it's the world, the world is essentially one giant broken heart, and people are trying to fix the world without fixing their own broken heart first. And this, thank you for telling me about your company and your Italian. I don't believe in randomness. It's just things are meant to be. And so this book, and then because of just going for it, no excuses, and just leading purely with heart and love, it allowed me to fix my broken heart, which I know is helping others do that already. And I don't even know when the book's going to come out. That doesn't really matter. Oh.
I the way I look at excuses is it's just too much work. It's a, it's it's unhealthy ways. Is an unhealthy way of um, wasting my energy, and it creates that negative energy. Yeah, so this is one of those things where with kids, their natural tendency, especially when they're very young, can be to lie. They want to get in trouble or whatever, and they may come up with excuses. But just so why would you waste your energy coming up with excuses when you can just learn and move on?
That's the only thing I've never understood not being like that. It's genuinely confusing to me. Everything that's happened for you your entire life has just been a great learning experience to show people not to make excuses. Yet most people will say, "Wow, you're inspiring," but they won't do anything with that inspiration. And true inspiration to me is taking action with it and doing something with it, not just listening, but actually doing something with it.
Before we go too long, I want to ask you a question, and I want to make sure I don't forget. Is that you put a lot of faith in the Kolbi uh, Kolbi test, and what? But first, tell me what this is. Is this a personality test? Is it a culture
No, no,
index?
no. I don't care what your personality is. No, no. Okay. So Kolbe, KOLBE.com, A index, takes 20 minutes, 55 US dollars. It measures how your brain takes action, how you take action. Okay, so again, all you do is talk to visionaries and then simplify into a pattern. There are exceptions, but the overwhelming majority of visionaries in Kolbe world are very high quick start, boom, 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 and then little to no follow through, which is ADD, ADHD, diagnosed or undiagnosed, without a team of humans or employees helping you, usually a disaster. Um, there are some visionaries that are lower quick start, higher follow through, but most are high quick start, lower follow through. In our room specifically, as of this recording, we have 75 members. 10 is the highest quick start. I think we have 5 members under a 7 quick start. Only 5 out of 75. Most of our members are 8 and 9 quick starts. We have well over 5, 10 quick starts. Um, so true, not always, but usually a visionary's high quick start. Usually, because that's not afraid of risk either. High quick start means not afraid of risk.